What's up, guys? You want to disappear and transform your life, man? I totally get it. And I've done this before, so this is why I'm making this video, man. So listen up. If you want to make real change, right, you need to reinvent yourself. You got to, because if you think that people perceive you a certain way, you're going to act the way you think people perceive you, right? So if you can completely go to a new state, new city, whatever, somewhere where you feel like you're far from where people know you, like far from home, right? You know, that is ideal, first of all. I'm going to go to other things, but that's the biggest one, ideally, is because I've done this before. I grew up in Florida, and then, I had some shit go down, whatever, and was in a really bad mental spot, and I moved to Texas. And in Texas, Dallas, no one knew who I was. No one knew my name. No one knew my situation. No one knew anything about me. So I can reinvent myself. I could have done the same thing back in Florida, but when I moved to Texas, that's when I was able to be like, all right, cool. This is my new identity. This is my new, like no one knows who I am. I can pretend to be someone I'm not. Fake it till you make it. That's such a good saying for a reason, because we really have to fake it till we make it, if you have the low self-esteem, whatever, go somewhere new where you no one knows you, you battle these demons, and you act more confident. You pretend you're more confident. Also, figure out what little vices you have, man. What things are you addicted to? Are you addicted to social media? If so, man, you need to delete that shit. Delete it or disappear off it for 6 months, man. You got to get rid of it. You can't check it once. You got to be strict with yourself. You're going hard mode, okay? Where instead of checking your phone and checking all your friends or people acquaintances, see what they're up to, and posting your life and updating your life. Even if you just on this transformation, you lost some weight, right? You can't be giving that halfway update. Nah, bro. You're coming back in 6 months. No one knows where you are or what you're doing for 6 months. And that is like the best way of going about it, right? Stop giving people updates. Just completely fall off the fucking face of the earth, man. If someone really needs to reach out to you, they'll have your number or something, But other than that, you need to fucking fall off the edge of the earth, right? Stay in close contact with like family and close friends, man. But everyone else, bro, nah, man. Unless they're super important to you, they can wait, right? And also it's a good opportunity to see who's gonna hit you up, right? See who your friends are. If you like, if someone's only hitting you up because they want something from you, or you present something, because they can see on social media or whatever, they're not a true friend, right? So you have to go in and disappear, pull away the source of dopamine or whatever that people are relying on you for, and you disappear, right? And see who actually hits you up, who's actually gonna be like, yo, man, haven't heard from you. What's up? Were you doing good? Stuff like that. And those are the people who are gonna be more trustworthy of, right? So find a new place to live. Or if anything, if you got to be at home, you can't find a new place to live for a couple of months and reinvent yourself. Reinvent your room, man. Reinvent your living space. Because if you wake up, have the same routine every day, don't be surprised if you can't change, right? You have to change up your routine. You have to get shooken up, right? You have to all of a sudden be like, all right, I hit rock bottom, whatever. I'm going to start a membership, this new gym, or find this new, like say you're out of shape and you're like, damn, I need to reinvent myself 6 months. Go find a new hobby. Say before you're doing, Planet Fitness for the gym, whatever. Go get a different gym membership. Go pay more. Go somewhere that's nicer. You have to pay more so you actually show up to the gym more. Go, commit to a 6 month or 12-month contract at a local like CrossFit gym or kickboxing gym. Something where you're locked in. You're paying more money so you actually show up, and then you actually, feel the pressure of doing that thing that you said you're going to do, right? So there's just a few things, guys. Another thing, eat clean, man. Start tracking your food. Start tracking what goes into your body. Every little thing. They did a study on like obese men, and they didn't have to do anything different over 6 months, except for one group didn't track their food, and the next group tracked everything they ate. And the guys who were more mindful of everything they ate, who tracked everything, didn't do anything different with their diet or exercise, but they just tracked. They lost weight, because they're more mindful of what's going in their body, So just gotta be careful, guys, and figure out what vices. I was talking to a viewer the other day, and he reached out because he had this addiction to certain websites and like hiring, escorts and stuff. And he felt really bad, and and he wanted to change. So I was telling him, I was like, man, where do you find, like, where does this all begin, right? What leads up to you going on these websites and seeing, what girls working that night? What leads up to that point? Are you at work bored? Are you this and that? What are you sad? Like, what's happening? And he told me, he goes, it happens always whenever I'm in my room, I'm alone and I'm bored. And that's where we narrowed down to it. All of his fucking addiction and pain that he's receiving in his life, that he's creating, is happening because this sequence of events. He finds himself in his room, the door closed, right? He lives at home, he's got family and stuff. He could be talking with them, interacting with them, get his mind off that shit. But now he finds himself bored in his room. And now the temptation kicks in. He doesn't have this temptation at work. He doesn't have this temptation anywhere else, but when he's bored in his room. So I was like, hey man, listen, so you gotta remind yourself, you're in your room, hey, this is where it all begins. Before you even get that first temptation, be like, nah bro, I'm keeping the door open. I'm inviting my friends and family to come, in my room and talk, hang out, or better yet, I'm taking the phone, I'm not even gonna be in the phone in the room, I'm putting it downstairs. That way, if I get any temptation, I got to go downstairs and, maybe you got to interact with someone, right? Get your mind off it. But I told him, I was like, bro, you start feeling these signs, you're putting your phone away and you're giving it to someone or your family or whatever, going for a long walk, or you're going for a jog, or you're going to do some push-ups or whatever. You do that, guys, your mind is off that crazy shit, bro. You got to realize what is leading you to the point where you are doing these things you're not proud of, adult websites or whatever, and you gotta take a few steps back and be like, all right, well, it all starts when I do this. This is the slippery slope. This is the gateway right here, is when I do this one thing. There's all other stuff, that one thing, like the viewer, it all started him going to his room and he's being bored, right? That's a very innocent thing, right? But it leads to a very bad, naughty consequence, right? So figure out what you want to get rid of, and what are the steps that are leading up to that thing that you can, put some roadblocks in, right? So you just do those things, guys. You're gonna disappear for 6 months, man. You're gonna be unrecognizable, bro. Hop on semen retention, guys. Hold your seat in. So many guys nowadays want to bust a nut at every second they can, man. Whether it's through themselves, through the internet, through a woman, bro. You got to go through periods of time where you're just not doing that shit, man. You're locking in. You're just like, all right, I feel horny, but I'm just going to ignore it, man. I'm going to go for a walk, go for a run, go work out, transmute that energy, go read a book. Something where all of a sudden you're not feeling the same temptation, guys. You're feeling way more relaxed, Transmute the energy, guys. Hop on semen retention. Start practicing. I'm not saying you got to practice that for 6 months, guys, but practice it for, go 30 days holding your jizz in, guys, without jacking off or something, man. And you're going to be unrecognizable. You're going to be the type of guy that's like, people are going to want to, girls are going to fucking talk to you and shit, and be more attractive. You start working out, man, getting lean, eating right, holding your seat in, guys, you're going to be naturally high off the fucking dopamine, man. You're going to be naturally happier because you're going to see how women are liking you more all of a sudden, right? And if you're just married or something, just having that ego boost of like seeing a woman be attracted to you, man, is good. Not saying you gotta cheat on your wife. Don't do that. But go become attractive, man. Become attracted to yourself. Be confident with your shirt off. Or start working towards that. You might be pretty obese, but at least you can, if you lost 15, 20 pounds, bro, you're gonna feel happier, man. So, guys, if you just lock in and do those things alone, man, you're gonna be so much happier. Go find yourself a hobby, activity. Don't do social media. Stay off that shit. Stay off anything that's like a cheap dopamine hit, man. Wean yourself off that shit. And you will be a more happier, version of yourself, guys. I promise you, man. And that's how I've disappeared and become a better version of myself after 6 months and walked in, you know? And you can do the same thing, guys. I'm not going to make this video just off speculation. I'm making it based off of me actually doing this, okay? I've been through really hard times in my life where I felt really down, depressed. And I've been up on the, other side where I feel really good and really confident. And the world's my oyster, right? So, whoops, sorry, a little carried away here in the parking garage. But it all begins with being in shape and finding activities you love, hobbies you love. Do something daring, man. Go skydiving for the first time. Go travel that place you've always wanted to go to. Go do that crazy thing, man. That's legal. Don't do some legal shit, but go, something that's gonna get your heart rate up, make you feel alive. Learn how to surf. Some activity, guys. You know what I'm saying, right? But you gotta find what gets you excited, man. What gets you up in the morning? What gets you ready for the day? And yeah, you'll find happiness, guys. Anyways, that's all I got for now, guys. Reach out if you want to talk more. Peace.